Hey students, welcome back to another video. This week we are going to start looking at dot plots and histograms. Now this week I broke up the video into two different uploads because I don't want you to get confused. This video is going to be on dot plots, the next will be on histograms, but they'll be pretty quick and short. But what we're looking at here, remember in this unit we're talking about what's typical, and now we're starting to look at ways to visualize data. We talked about mean and median, and even outliers a little bit. But now we want to think about how we can visualize data. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen newspapers or magazines before where there's charts and graphs and things, and think about why publishers would put those in their articles. And it's because it's just easier sometimes to show a point when you can visually see the data. So we're going to quickly go over two ways. First, dot plots, and then the next video, histograms. So with these dot plots, what you're going to have to do first is you're going to have to always remember to write your label of what it is that you're displaying. So right here, I went and surveyed 12 students to see how many screens were in their home. So that includes iPads, smartphones, TVs, things like that. And these were the 12 data points I got. So down here under our number line, and for both of these dot plots and histograms, you're going to want a number line. And remember, a number line, we don't skip numbers, we keep even intervals. So let's set up this number line first before we go farther. So my lowest number is a 1. So I'm just going to put 1 here, and I'm just going to skip. So 1, maybe I don't. So 1, then we have 2, 3. And you'll notice I'm doing this on graph paper. And I will say, if we were in class, graph paper is so good when you're making any types of data plots, because we want to be organized. We want to be able to see patterns and things. And so keeping everything nice and neat is going to be helpful here. And so I'm going to go up a little past what our maximum is. Our maximum is 10 if you look in our data, and our minimum is 1, so I'll probably go down to 0 here. And since this is a number line, I should remember to put arrows on our number line because number lines go on forever. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to make our dot plot. So this is number of screens in home. Remember, we want to label this number of screens in home. Okay? And so this is really simple. All you're going to do is for each data point, each person you talk to, you're going to plot on your dot plot. So we're going to make a little dot. So I'm going to go to blue coloring for this. And so we had one person got 1, first person, and I put these all in order already. When I asked, it wasn't obviously in this order. And then we had another person that had 1 screen. So you can see here on 1 screen we have 2 students that had 1 screen. Now I go up here, the next one is 2. We had 1 person on 2. And this is why it's important to do our number line, and you'll see once we get to 3 here, nobody had 3. And so we don't skip and go to 4 on our number line. We still want 3 there because we want to see that nobody had 3 screens. So we're going to go on to 4, and I have 4 students. And you'll see all this grid paper is really helping me get all of my dots lined up the way I want. And then 5, we had 2 students that had 5 screens, 2 students with 7 screens, and then 1 student with 10 screens. And so by doing this dot plot, we can now look for different trends and patterns. And you'll notice if I asked you what was typical, well, it looks like 4 is our mode here. And if we try to draw like a curve over our data, we'd kind of get, it's kind of symmetrical. It's kind of symmetrical. We have about the same amount of data over here as over here. So we would say our data, we have a normal distribution. So this is a normal distribution. We have kind of our majority in the middle, our median. If we calculate the median or mean, it would be somewhere in here. And then as you go out, there are less distribution. All right, and so this is, we can see that there's gaps here. No one had 8 and 9. We call that a gap. So this would be a gap. And if you have a lot of data in one place, this isn't quite too much more than the rest, but you'd call these clusters. So that could be a cluster, and then we have gaps when there's data missing. So this is how you make a dot plot. It's really important to make your number line consistently intervaled, and you put your labels in here. So hopefully this is quick and easy for you, and we'll get more into talking about their shapes as we get into this unit. So see you next time. Thanks.